Just getting set up here, guys. Rich, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Just getting set up here. Got a lot of stuff I gotta rig in order to stream this from this far out. So I gotta hook up the battery pack and the signal booster and all that fun stuff. And hopefully, it's really hot out here today. Hopefully the old iPhone don't get too hot and we overheat, because that's happened before too. Make sure I got the live chat up so I can see everybody. There we go. Just getting settled in. I actually got to camp late today, so we got a lot of work to do and a little bit of time to make up. You guys have seen Friday night's episode of Huntsman. Last time I was down here, I was surrounded by water. Everything down here was just flooded to beat all hell. But it's only been a day and the creek's back down to normal. Everything's normal at camp again, so easy in, easy out today. Not like it was for Friday's episode. We're drinking rosé wine out here today. How fancy is that shit? It takes a little bit of time for these notifications for YouTube to get out. Give some people some time to get in here. If you can, go ahead and share it and let everybody know that we're live, and we're going to get this thing started here pretty quick. I'll take you guys on up here and show you what we got planned for today, and a couple of other things. So before we continue with putting our logs on the structure that'll make up the roof, I'm gonna be putting the stone floor in. I'm gonna put it in today. The reason I want to put the stone floor in now is because of the lighting. Once we get the roof up there, hey Ranger, it's going to be pretty dark in here. So I want to go ahead and put the stone floor in while I got the airflow and the space to actually haul the stone in here. And this is one of the things that I pointed out on Friday's episode, this little hook here. That's to hook my lantern up there. So I have a light at the top of the structure built right into the wood. So if I happen to be working out here after dark, I can just hang that up there and it won't blind me while I'm still working. The other thing I need to check on right quick is I'm putting these massive stone slabs in as far as the floor goes, and I want to use blue shale to fill in the cracks between the slabs of stone. That way it reflects light at night, so I have kind of this dark stone with this real light baby blue lining going through it. That's the way the floor is going to look. But in order to do that, I have to come down here to the creek and make sure the flash flood that came through the other day did not wash away my deposit of blue shale. And it's looking like it washed away a lot of it. I don't know if I can go further upstream and find another deposit or not. We had a big deposit like right here. This was all blue shale. A lot of the smaller stuff has been washed away, but I still have chunks like this here that I can just break up. This stuff breaks up real easy, so I can just powder that up and throw it in there for the lining. It's just not going to be as easy as it was when this whole beach area right here was just nothing but real fine blue shale. I could have just scooped it up and went. Now I'm going to have to do some grinding. So that's going to be another chore on the list. So even after I get the slabs pulled out of the ground and moved up and fitted into place, I still got to go down there and mine my blue shale to fill in all the cracks in between the stones. It's gonna be a heavy lifting day. So right here's our little stone quarry we got going on. We found a foundation here. I'm thinking a floor to an older structure, a much older structure. Don't know how big the floor is, but there are stone slabs that will be transplanting up there to build the floor in the shelter. So I'm gonna be getting to that here pretty quick. And so in order to do that, I'm probably just gonna have to set you guys up here at a half-ass decent angle and haul some damn stone. That gives a little bit of time for more people to show up into the chat and not be so antisocial. Yeah, I do have some shade here. That meadow over there, there's a meadow here right beside the camp. There's a big hole in the canopy right there, and the sunlight splashes down through that. And any place the sunlight hits the ground in the forest, man, it just it grows crazy. Let's get you out of the sun there a little bit. Don't need y'all going blind. 97 there, a little bit warmer than me. I got a nice cool breeze going on too, so that's not too bad. I am wearing my black flag. This is the old t-shirt that I wear. I actually have to get down there and turn my trail cam off because it's been filming me filming. How about that? I didn't turn it off when I got into camp, but I've only been here a little bit, so it'll only be the last few clips on the trail cam. We got that mounted up right there. We'll take a quick peek real quick and see if we got anything on there. Now this has only been out here for 48 hours, but all of the apples that I put out here with it are gone, so see how many clips we got. Yeah, got some nighttime footage. Something came in here in the day. Yep, definitely gonna take a look at the trail cam footage and find out what's happening there. And I'll process that and get it up on the channel as soon as I can. That shouldn't be too hard of a problem, but that's after we get done here with the workload today. We got 6 people in the chat right now. Sorry if I missed anybody coming in who said hi. Hi. I'll grab a drink here real quick and then we're gonna get our asses to work. We got a lot of work to do today. Yeah, just settling in here. One more drink. We're drinking rosé out here today. Out of a custom-made Huntsman-style wine bottle. I usually have this on my belt, and it just pops open right there, and I can take the decanter out of it. Nice little kit, right? Unconventional gear. That is way cooler than a fucking metal canteen, ain't it? And I can use it to heat up water. So if I'm not carrying wine in that, and I want to heat up water for tea, coffee, anything like that, I just use it as a, just set it in the sun with the cork on it. It'll heat water up enough to make tea or at least a lukewarm cup of coffee. All that solar heat gets trapped inside that glass, and it's real thick fucking glass too. Like, you can't break that thing, it's tempered glass, so I can beat the crap out of it and I don't have to worry. But yeah, I can make coffee and tea in there if I'm not drinking wine or bourbon or cognac or something like that out of it. Alright, so like I said there earlier, for those of you who are new and just coming in, this is our live bushcraft build. We do not add anything to this structure unless we are live streaming. Those of you who came in, if you could send this out on Facebook, Twitter, and all of that fun stuff and get your friends in here, come out and hang out with us while we're doing this little project, I'd greatly appreciate it, and they might learn something along the way. Or they might see the damn thing fall over on my head. You never know what's going to happen during a live show. We can't edit this stuff out. So, yeah, everything we do to this bushcraft build is done live. We don't do any work out here on the structure itself unless we are live streaming, so you guys can see every single step of the way in real time. Today we're going to be going through here and putting in some stone slabs, which is going to make up a stone floor, and then we're going to fill those stone slabs in with blue shale from down in the creek. That'll light that sumbitch up a little bit. So I'm going to get started doing that. You guys can hang out. I'll haul up a couple of stones. How I'm planning on doing this is I'll haul up a couple of stones from down there where they're laying. We'll get them fitted into place. I can stop back and talk to you guys a little bit, and then we'll just continue that process on and on and on, and we'll stream for as long as we can. Battery pack is all set and ready to go. We could probably stream for, I don't know, 3-4 hours if we wanted to today. So a lot of time to hang out. If you want to, you can, come back a little bit later and check in on our progress. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the workload part. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. There's about the average size of the slabs we'll be throwing into the floor. So it's probably not going to take too long to fill this sumbitch in. The shelter's not all that big. It's just a shelter. But stones like this, throwing them in there, they're nice and heavy. They made up a floor probably back in the 1800s. We're just going to try to set these in there. We don't have to have them fit perfect where they're nice and tight. I actually want cracks in between so I could put that blue shale in there and get that reflective light up off the floor. So when I have my LED light hanging up on that little hook at the top, the floor is reflecting the light back up, makes it nice and bright in there. It ought to reflect some of the light from a fire too, but the shale tends to reflect the LED light better than it does firelight, but we still should get something out of it. So does carrying stone like this on a live stream make me look really fucking strong? one or two more blocks like that, we'll have the first line of this stuff already filled in. So I'll go ahead and fill that first line in, and we'll take a look at it. That one there might be a little bit too big. Woo. All right, guys, we got one of the rows done. We'll go ahead and take a look at it, and I'll try to catch up with you guys there in the chat. Really not trying to break my back doing this shit, but it would be easy to do. All right, so right there's our first line. You can see how I'm just sort of loosely fitting the stones together. I want those cracks in between because I want to fill them with lighter material. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stones, and we've already got one row done. If the stones continue to be this size, we'll probably be doing 6 or 7 rows. So 5 minutes, we got one done. Might get a little bit more challenging here in a bit, because those were the looser stones. Might have to pry some of them out with a rigged up pry bar. Just find us a good steady piece of wood, taper the point down a little bit where we can get up underneath it and pry them up. But here's what's happening. Try to explain this the best I can too. And when I pull one out, obviously I get this ledge on the next one. So I clear out that dirt and I just sort of dig under it where I get a handhold and then pry it up. I ain't trying to lift the thing, I'm trying to pry them up. I use the stones themselves as the lever to pry them out of the ground instead of just trying to pick them up one solid way. You know, gotta be smart when you're lifting, otherwise you just hurt yourself and then you ain't got nowhere. But it is getting hot doing that, just that little bit, man. That's why I pointed out on Friday night's episode, or no, it was on our last live stream, how doing this kind of thing takes a toll out of you, especially on hot days like this. So you get guys out there doing way bigger builds than this one, and they're going through the same shit that I'm going through now. They just edit that out of the video, so they come across looking like fucking superheroes. They're putting up these mega structures and it doesn't look like it took them any effort at all. But I guarantee you, those guys are going through hell doing projects this size or bigger. That's why we do ours live, just so you guys get a different perspective of what it's like out here. It's in the upper 80s today. Yeah, I know, right? Burning up the calories. That's another thing. Whenever you're doing stuff like this, I'm burning up so much energy and so many calories out here today that if I didn't have something to eat with me, or bring water with me, or could boil water to stay hydrated while I'm doing this workload just for this live stream, it would have me tapping out by the end of the day. I'd sleep like a baby tonight, but I'd have a hard time recovering from it. So yeah, in the upper 80s today, kind of humid, but you know, we got a nice cool breeze and plenty of shade around here. And we got the creek down there we could always wash off in to cool down a little bit. Yep, use a fire dip to make some, yeah, boiling water. I actually did that on my, let's see, it was 2 episodes ago on the main Huntsman series, the Friday night show. I went out for a 3-day stay, and it rained like a motherfucker. And I had floodwaters coming down through the creek. I got water out of the creek in the morning and made some oatmeal and coffee. I boiled it before, you know, I started mixing everything together. But I washed my face in that muddy creek, and I still got sick from it, just washing my face in it. A couple of drops might have got in my mouth while I was scrubbing my face or something like that. I was sick for a week. There's no such thing as fresh water in nature anymore. Everything's contaminated. Thank you, humanity. You've done well. So yeah, even boiling water as far as drinking it, yep. Yeah, all the runoff from the fields, and then, you know, of course, you got runoff from the cities. I'll tell you what, in a shit hit the fan situation, being downstream of a city, or downriver of a city, that's the last fucking place you'll ever want to be. So try to find a place that's, you know, along a main river that don't have no goddamn cities on it, because once the infrastructure of a city shuts down, and there ain't nobody to run the sewage plant, and there ain't nobody to pick up the garbage, and there ain't nobody to do, you know, your basic sanitation jobs, they turn into petri dishes. Cities are like biological weapons. They're ticking time bombs. You have to have people in there doing all of those sanitary jobs in order to keep a major outbreak of disease from happening. So if a city's infrastructure shuts down, everything downstream of that city, it's not just the city itself. I mean, inside the city, that's ground zero for you're about to get fucked up. But everything downstream or even downwind of that goddamn city is going to be infected too. So you look at cities are like the abscesses of humanity. It's where all of the toxins gather together in one spot. And as soon as that thing pops, everything for 100 fucking miles around it is diseased too. Just because humans are that fucking filthy. We like to think that, you know, we got our shit together and that we're all about the environment and blah, 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 blah. Humans are the filthiest fucking creatures to ever grace God's green earth. And we ain't never gonna change. It doesn't matter how many petitions you have, or how many hashtags you have, or any of that other shit. We're nasty fucking creatures, and eventually our own garbage is gonna come back to bite us in the ass. In a shit hit the fan situation, natural disaster, nuclear fallout, any of that shit, I would go with natural disaster as far as shit hits the fan situation, because there ain't no way anybody's going to get a nuke through our fucking military defense system. It's not going to happen. And, you know, you see all this shit about EMP pulses and blah, blah, blah. If an EMP knocked out the grid, those are some dumb motherfuckers right there. Because if you think an EMP is going to knock out the fucking power grid and we're just never going to have electricity again, you're full of fucking shit. If an EMP went off, it only affects certain parts of the electronic grid. And those are replaceable fucking parts. All we have to do is put new batteries in the fucking grid and it's back up and running within a week. So that EMP bullshit, that don't hold up. An EMP would be useless. A lot of our shit's already protected from electromagnetic storms. EMP ain't gonna be no better. And like I said, that just affects certain components on the grid. We just swap those components out with new components that we have sitting in a fucking warehouse somewhere, and we're back up and running. Ain't no different than a natural disaster or a tornado or something like that knocking down the power grid. The boys go out there, they restring everything, and the power's right back up. EMP would be the same fucking way. Anyway, we're not talking about that today. We're out here trying to get some fucking work done, and here I am talking. So I'll go ahead and pry a few more of these out. You guys feel free to hang out in the chat. Please tweet this out, share it on Facebook or whatever your social media pages are. Get some more people on up in here. We're going to be going for probably 2 or 3 hours today, so we're hanging out for a while. The more people you get in here, the more fun it is for you while I'm up here busting my ass and you guys are sitting there in the air conditioning drinking lemonade and shit. So I'll get back to that, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Hey, looky there. Compared to some of the other stones that I already hauled up into this structure, this has got to be the mightiest beast you ever saw. This thing weighs about 3 pounds. This is going to be my little Joey stone. We're gonna etch his name into this motherfucker just for memory's sake, in memory of Joe, right there on the tiniest stone in the Huntsman Bushcraft build. We got progress. This shit right here is the reason people throw up tents. Couple more, guys, couple more. After that last one, after I said that last one, then I think we only need one more. We'll have 2 rows done. Hey, Pam, sweetheart, how you doing? They got me out here working today. Yeah, I am. Can't put on weight to save my life. But I tell you what, one of the things I carry with me whenever I come out and I'm doing projects like this is whey protein and nitric oxide. Because if you're gonna be out here working out like this, you might as well turn it into a full-fledged workout. So whenever you're doing a workload like this, and you're using your muscles the way that I'm using mine now, your muscles start getting torn, microfiber tears. And your body will start using protein in your system to repair that muscle tissue. So if you're out in a survival situation and you don't have a steady supply of protein, that's when your body is going to start breaking down existing muscle tissue to repair the damage that you're doing to your body while you're trying to survive. That's why going out and thinking that you can live on fish in a survival situation, it's not going to work. Fish will sustain you for a few days, but it doesn't have enough fat in it to be able to sustain you properly. Whenever you're out here, you have to have protein. You have to have fucking meat, or you're gonna shrink right up and you ain't gonna have no energy at all. Your muscles are gonna give out on you because your body's gonna be eating your muscle tissue in order to repair itself. So, as I was saying there, I bring out a vial of powdered whey protein with me whenever I'm doing workloads like this, and then about halfway through the day, I'll take that vial of protein. It's got about 48 grams of protein in it, I think, within that vial, and that helps me recover. So let me see here. I'm gonna be digging into that right now. You can get just a little plastic container. I carry mine in plastic tubes. It's in the bottom of my pack here somewhere. But a little plastic tube with whey protein in it as a supplement. So whenever you're out, if you're out and you can't find a rabbit or a squirrel or kill a deer or something like that to eat, you can take that shot of whey protein and it's gonna give you all the protein you need to keep going. Nitric oxide, what that stuff does is it causes your muscles to rep faster so you can lift faster. and you're actually building muscle tissue while you're lifting instead of breaking it down. But that goes into the same process. If you're causing your muscles to work harder, faster with each, like whenever I'm lifting these stones, if I have nitric oxide in my system, whenever I pull up that stone, it's like pulling up the same stone 4 times. That's what the chemical does to your muscles. That's what your muscles are thinking. I just lifted this 4 times and it's only 1. So you have to supplement, you have to, you know, repair that muscle tissue with protein. So you have to have protein whenever you're out doing stuff like this. But you can turn your bushcraft build or just hiking or anything like that into your wilderness workout. You see BushFit hashtag all over the fucking place right now. Physical fitness is really important whenever you're out here. You don't want to be a slouch, and you don't want to be, you know, like me. I'm about 140. I'm not packing a lot of weight. I don't want to be packing a lot of weight on me because I have to carry that shit. I have to carry my body weight. I have to burn up calories to carry that weight. If I was a big tubby bastard, I wouldn't be doing shit like this. Sunlight's moving on us. There we go. Actually, you know, since we're doing the floor, why don't I just go ahead and take you guys up in the air and, God damn, son, you're a Sasquatch. Yeah, 6'3". Yeah, I'm like 5'9", so you got a couple inches on me. I might as well go ahead and take you guys up here where you can get an angle of me dropping this floor in, if I can do it without getting sun glare. I'm gonna be dropping the stones over on this side here. So we inside the shelter right now. There's the floor we're putting in. As you can see, like I was saying there earlier in the stream, I want these really loose. I want to be able to fill in those cracks with a lighter material so I get a reflection off of it. So if I can get that damn glare stones, they do reflect light really well. I tell you what, maybe we could just set you at the back of the shelter, tip you over here a little bit, and set you up right here. And nope, that's even fucking worse. God damn, son. Here we go with filming difficulties. Well, as long as the sunlight's at that angle, I think you guys are gonna have to work with what you got. Anyway, we'll try that out. I'll go ahead and grab a few more stones and get them in there. You see me just drop them. I want to show you guys something on this particular stone right here that I just grabbed. If I can get the light to work with me. I don't know how well y'all are going to be able to make it out. But this stone here is grooved. It has all of these perfect diagonal grooves going through it. You know, what that's from is this came from the bottom of the creek. They were quarrying this out of the bottom of the creek, and this was a top layer of stone, and those grooves going through there is just water, where water was on it. It made a very beautiful pattern. We're gonna have it as we're gonna probably put this right here at the center of the structure, just because it's a decorative stone, nature's decorative type. So we're gonna fit this right in the middle of the floor. And it'll be our only stone that's sitting at an angle. But check this out. I get this light to work with me. So there you can see the grooves, I think. See those diagonal grooves in there? That's from water flowing over it and cutting it out. So we got a decorative stone. The rest of them are just flat, real smooth surface. This one's kind of rippled. So we put that right there at the center of the floor. And you can see right there, that angle right there, that's where these are all going one direction, but this one stone is turned at a diagonal. So we're getting that different pattern going through our cracks. And you know, if you're going to build a bushcraft shelter and it's a semi-permanent shelter, you might as well do some interior decorating while you're building the fucking thing, right? So we got that stone in place, which is going to give us a little bit of a puzzle as far as fitting other stones over there. Because on these other stones, it's pretty much flat surface to flat surface. Now we turned one, so we got this point that we have to work with. And I'll show you how we're going to do that here in a little bit. We'll probably actually get the main stones put in, but we're going to have to break some up to fill in some of these bigger cracks. I don't want those real big cracks in there like that. And even if they are filled in with the blue shale, I don't want them too big because they'll tend to hold water, or the floor won't settle right. So yeah, a couple more stones and this thing will be set. For all the shade we have out here, sure fuck ain't a lot of shade on this floor. Are you buffering, Pam? You gotta remember, sweetheart, I am out in the middle of fucking nowhere right now, so my signal's a little weak. I'm trying to keep it up as high as I can, though. Everybody okay? Alright, so try to compensate for that damn glare a little bit there, and I'll go grab some more stones. We gotta keep working. Well, that was fitting there pretty nice, but it was covered under about 1 inch of topsoil I had to clear off before I could bring it out. Clearing a lot of this greenery and shit that grew up in the shelter, because we ain't got the roof on it yet, out of the way while I'm doing this. But I do want to leave a lot of the root system here, just because it helps keep the ground stable. So we're about halfway through the floor now. Actually, I have to move you guys because you're sitting where I need to put the next stone. So we'll move you over here to the other corner. See what things look like from over here. There we are. Tell you what, sitting on a stone floor is a little bit nicer than sitting on a cold, hard fucking ground. As I was staying there, I'm about halfway through the laying this floor down right now. We got maybe 2 more rows, depending on the size of the stone that we bring up. We got 1 to fit there, and then 2 more rows going across. If they're the same size as these, it'll fill in that space pretty easy. If not, maybe 3 rows. Now, when I get up to the front, I want to make sure that I got enough stone left to put the front porch on, because I'm going to have that front A-frame. I'm going to drop 2 logs down on it and basically make a, a typical door. And then I want a step on the outside, so we'll have that. Depending on how much of this stone I can quarry out, this might turn into like a cabin style build with the stone floor on the inside, a little stone step on as far as the front step of the front door goes, and we might put a different kind of different color stone in there. Maybe red. I could find some red shale up the creek there ways if I wanted to hike that way, just to get red shale to fill in the cracks on my front porch. So we got blue shale lined inside, red shale on that front step. And then if we have enough of these flat stones left, I got a little bit of a kind of like a hill that goes down to the creek, and we can build a stone walkway going down through there. Kind of pave it out a little bit so I'm not walking in the mud when it is raining out here. And maybe cut out the steps on the hillside and put flat stones in there and make steps going down to the creek. And we'll do all that with just my axe, using the backside of the axe as a hammer to break them apart. These are only about 2.5, 3 inches thick, so if I get them at the right angle with the axe, they should bust, no problem. And then we can break them down into smaller pieces like that. So there's a little bit too much glare from this angle, so I'm gonna move you guys back out there in the shade so you stay cool and you don't get all hot and sweaty like I am. And we'll get these last 2 rows put in, and we can move on to our next step. We're just having a problem with the fucking sun right now. It's just at that right angle to glare everything right here at the camp. So I apologize for the lighting. Yep, I'm gonna haul up a couple more, at least in the next row. I'm not trying to kill myself doing this. I'm overheating already. I'll probably go down to the creek and cool off here in a minute. Our pool's cleared out again, so we got some minnows swimming around down in there. We can go down there and cool off in the pool. But I do want the sweat on the shirt because this black shirt, as I've mentioned so many times before, I wear this black shirt while I'm working out here, and then I hang it up in the tree so the deer coming into camp have to get past the fucking smell on my shirt in order to get the stuff that I leave out here for them. So there's that. We're multitasking like that. You start buffering there, Rich? It might just be the signal from being this far out. It might be on my end. Might be YouTube, but we never know. Let's see if I get you guys a little bit. You're good? We'll see if we can boost the power a little bit there and see if we can work with it that way. Alright, apologize for that, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work. 8 people in the room, 6 likes, hit that thumbs up. Share this out on Twitter and Facebook. The more friends you get in here, the more fun you have while I'm doing the work. So, yeah, I'm gonna go down there and pry a couple more out, get them set into place. Try to make the big picture this time, guys. We'll just try to, that's what I'm hoping, Ranger. I really am. That's why I like doing these live streams like this, just because we all get to do it together. Granted, you know, you guys are just basically seeing me bust my ass out here for a couple of hours during these live streams, but we get to do it in real time. And you guys are seeing my thinking process as I'm going through this, how I'm envisioning the end product. So You only get that in the live stream. We talk about it some in the Friday night episodes, but experiencing, I think a live show, no matter what kind of YouTube channel you have, a live show should not be something you just sit and watch. It should be something that you experience. And that's what I try to convey, even whenever I'm filming my regular episodes. I want you guys to see the forest more than you see me. I want you guys to experience what I'm experiencing, know how it feels. And yeah, but there ain't nothing better than a live stream. And there ain't nothing like Huntsman Live, right? I'm being watched, guys. Let me be quiet here for a second. I can smell a deer. So, you guys have seen, hey Jefferson, you guys have, I'm talking a little bit quieter right now, I got a deer watching me. You guys have seen my footage of the whitetail, right? And you see whenever they're watching me how they tend to stomp their foot down on the ground. Whenever they do that, they're doing two things. They're sending a signal out, sounds through the ground that goes up another deer's hoof, and they can pick up on that signal. So a deer a mile away can pick up the signal of that stomp on the ground. So if you're going through the woods and you're not walking right, you're just trudging through the woods, they can pick up on your vibrations they can hear with their feet. The second thing that the deer's doing whenever they stomp down like that is they're releasing hormones from a gland that's right at the top of their hoof, and it drops down onto the ground, and it's got a real potent smell to it. Almost smells like deer urine. If you guys ever smelled deer urine, you know that smell. So if you got a deer watching you and they start stomping down on the ground like that, and if you got a good sense of smell, you'll smell that stomp. And that's what I was smelling there when I was hauling that last stone up. As I was prying it up out of the ground, I got a whiff of it on the wind, and then I got up here and it got a little bit stronger. So I got a deer watching me somewhere, and he just stomped down on the ground. Yeah, it is a pungent odor. He just stomped down on the ground, sending that signal out that I'm down here. So he just told every other deer in the fucking woods that I'm here and I'm working. He might have come in here. If we're lucky, he came in here thinking that I'm bringing something in and dropping it off for him, because they could probably smell me by now. And they're making sure that I can smell them. So that's what happened right there. I just smell a deer watching me from somewhere. Just not sure where. So we'll keep our eyes peeled, kind of quiet down here a little bit while I'm hauling up this last bit of stone. And maybe we'll get one of the deer to walk down here to camp with us. Stone's getting a little harder to pry out of the ground right now. I'll keep that in mind, Dixie. I won't bend over to grab the stones. I'll kneel down to get them. I don't know if it's Dixie's personality or the heat getting to me, but I had just had this vision in my head of breaking local news of a guy in the woods getting attacked by a gay deer. It's dangerous out here, guys. Dangerous. Well, I'll be damned if I didn't just dig up home plate. This thing's heavy. Yo. I know right where this one goes. Ah. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and go on record right now for anybody coming into the chat room. If I did not say hi, I apologize. It's just, you know, work. It's not that I'm ignoring you or anything like that. And whenever we're doing these live streams, we tend not to focus on the work so much because usually I have a stack of wood over there that's already pre-cut and we just throw it up there and we get to interact a little bit more. This time though, I'm mining out the stone to put the floor in the shelter. So it's a little bit more work. It's taking me away from the window a little bit more. And anybody who does live streams on an iPhone knows that the chat there is kind of temporary, so I'd have to go back and scroll through there to see everybody's shit, and look at my hands right now. So yeah, hello to everybody that came into the room. Thank you for coming. I didn't mean to be rude by not saying hi. Just wanted to say that real quick. We got a few more stones to haul up in here, and then we'll go down the creek and cool off, and we can sit down and have a chat. One more corner to go, guys. Only one more corner to go. Alright guys, I'm going to take you on down here with me. We only got a few more stones to get out of the ground to fill this in, so I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing that and what I'm going through and why it's taking me so long in between stones. Seems like the further I go back on this little plot, the wetter the ground gets, and it's causing a little bit of suction under the stones, so that's what's taking the time. We'll sit you right here. So here's the plot that I've dug out so far. And it's a hell of a footprint over here. Almost the same size as my shoulder. Imagine that. So, yeah, I'll just show you guys real quick how I'm mining this stone out from this fucking ground down here. Now, I do have smaller pieces that I've been pulling out alongside those bigger ones, smaller pieces like this. And I'm just chucking them over here to the side. I won't need to work with these until I get the bigger stone up there, and then I might be able to fit these into a couple of the spots that need filling, or take my axe and bust them up, make them smaller, and then try to fit them in there where the cracks aren't too big. I don't want them over an inch really, and then we just fill all those cracks in with our blue shale. But this is what I'm doing as far as pulling this shit out. So I'm waiting to kick up a snake. Ain't yet. So there it is, guys. I'm just cleaning off about an inch of topsoil, roots and debris, shit like that, and then just pulling them up out of the ground, hauling them up the hill, and setting them in place. That's the process, over and over and over again. We've been at it for, I don't know, we've been, yeah, a little bit of work, but worth it. Having a stone floor in your shoulder, you don't see that too often. Stone floors? No. Anyway, yeah, just doing that process over and over again. We've been at it, as far as hauling the stone, maybe what, 45 minutes now? And we've already, we got one corner left to do on the shoulder, and that's it. So that's a pretty good workload. You know, an hour to put a stone floor in your shoulder, that's a good deal. So we'll turn you guys around here. Just sit you right here in the stone quarry. Shoulders up the hill right there. Haul this sumbitch up there and put it in place. And we gotta dig out another one. And there came up a little bit smaller, but these smaller ones are needed too. Uh-oh. Let me go back a little bit further. That is deep. Damn. That one ain't budging. That's a big one. She got too much topsoil on top of her. Get all this shit off. Alright, we got us a puzzle. These two slabs that I ran into back here, they're fucking massive. And they're a little bit thicker than what I've been hauling so far. But they're down there deep. There's the root system from these damn trees. Got too close to them. They're covered up with the roots and it held all of the shit in there. But there are some big ass slabs too. Right now I'm just trying to, I think it froze up. God damn it. All right, I froze. Hammer and chisel. Is the screen froze on your guys' side? If it is, I'm gonna have to reset this. Freeze? All right, I'll be back.